Hi, class. This is Mr. G, Mr. Garcia. So we are moving on. We are on chapter 2 now. Chapter 2, section 2.2. You only have 2.3 to 2.5. So this is before that. Okay, what you're going to do now is go ahead and take out a blank sheet of paper, line paper, or if you just have regular copy paper, that's fine. It's up to you, but make sure you put section 2.2, and these are one step equations. All right, these are notes that you're going to take for now. Okay. Um, so make sure your name's on there, period. All right, on the right side. So on this one, this is going to be in the middle, and on the right side, on the top, you're going to put your name and period. All right, that way I can see it when you submit it later on today. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. We're going to review actually one step equations today. All right, we're going to review the different rules that you need to help you solve these, because from there is we're just going to ramp it up real quickly. All right, okay, guys. All right, so here we have example 1 and example 2. All right, both of these are a little different, so let's go ahead and complete these. All right, so this is a one-step equation, but this is a subtraction problem. Okay, it's the variable is m minus 32 equals 18. So in this case, you're going to use addition to solve this, because you have to undo what is being done. Kind of like a fruit roll up. When you get a fruit roll up, you unroll it. That's what you're doing here. So right now, this is subtraction. So to help you undo it, you have to use addition. It's called the addition property of addition property of equality. Okay, addition property of equality. So we got to use addition. So in this case, to keep this variable by itself, we're going to need to add 32, and then we're going to need to add 32. Okay, so m minus 32 equals 18. So what we do to one side, we do to the other. Now, sometimes we put a line right here to make it more, to make it look better. Okay, so when you add these, you get 0. Okay, and the m is by itself. And then what's 18 plus 32? 50. Now, to check your answer, I usually like to check my answer. Checala, checala. I usually like to use that. Checala, checala, right? So if you didn't know, that's what I do. Okay? Checala, checala means check your answer. So to check your answer, you put your check mark right here, and you substitute this back in there. Substitute the m. So you get 50 minus 32. If 50 minus 32, is that 18? Yes. So that checks off. Checala, checala. We're done with example 1. Make sure you copy that down. All right, now example number 2, we're adding. Okay, we are adding. Now, the difference between adding and subtracting is right here, we're going to use the subtraction property of equality. Subtraction property of equality. So we got to subtract. Now, you see how the p's on this side? When you add anything, you can actually switch them. If you don't like the way this looks, you can switch it. You can switch the position. So you can go like this. P plus 22 equals negative 12. You're not changing anything. Only with addition you can do this. And now we can go ahead and use the subtraction property of equality. So now we're going to go ahead and subtract 22. Subtract 22, subtract 22. Remember, what you do to one side, you do to the other. You have to keep it like that. Okay? So now this is going to be by itself. So this is 0. So this, bring it down. P equals, and then negative 12 minus 22. Negative 12 minus 22. That's integers from last year. When you have two negatives like this, your answer is going to be a negative. So negative 12 minus 22. You can write it down like this. Negative 12 minus 22. Okay, P equals negative 34. There's your answer. Now, checala. You gotta check your answer, right? Let's see if that is negative 34. Some of you are like, no, that's not right, mister. Okay, let's check our answer. So, checala. So substitute their negative 34 for P. So 22 plus negative 34 equals, these are different signs. So different signs, you subtract. Okay, so 34 minus 22 is 18. And then this has a bigger sign, so this is negative, not 18, sorry, 12. Negative 12. So it does check off. We're good. We are done with example 2. All right, so now we have example 3 and example 4. So we just did these two. So this one used the addition property of equality because you had to add to solve it. This one, you had to use the subtraction property of equality because you had to subtract to solve it. Now, these two problems are a little different, okay? So in number 3, we're actually multiplying. Multiplying negative 5 times n equals 60. So we're multiplying. So you have to use inverse operation of that. So when you're multiplying, the opposite of multiplication is division. So now we're going to use the division property of equality to solve this guy. So we want n by itself. Let me zoom in. We want n by itself. So we got to get rid of this negative 5. So to do that, divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. When you divide by negative 5, right here, you get 1. Yes? When I draw a big line like that, that's a 1. And then you're left with n. So n equals, what's 60 divided by negative 12? Oh, 60 divided by negative 5. Sorry, I gave you the answer. 60 divided by negative 5 is negative 12. Now, like always, I'm going to check my answer, right? Checkala, right? So here's checking my answer. Substitute negative 12 in here. So negative 5 times negative 12. This is multiplication, remember. Yeah, a negative times a negative is a positive. So your answer is 60. We just checked our answer. Okay, let's go on example number 4. Now, this is a division problem. Okay, anytime you see this like that, it's a division problem. So since we're dividing here, what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So you got to use the multiplication property of equality here to solve for this. So in this case, we have an 8 down here. So we're going to multiply both sides by 8. The 8 goes on top here, and whatever goes to one side, you do to the other. Okay. Now, this is actually 8 over 1, yes? And this is actually 8 over 1. But we just don't put it, but I'm putting it now. So this is 8 divided by 8. This becomes 1, and you're just left with the h. So h equals, and then negative 2 times 8. A negative times a positive is a negative. So you get negative 16. Okay. So h equals 60. This is an h. Sorry, it's not an n. Now let's check our answer. Checkala. So let's do it. So substitute negative 16 in here. So negative 16 divided by 8. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. So your answer is negative 2. It does. Our answer does check out. So we're done with 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, class. So we went over 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, if you didn't catch it or if you didn't understand it, go ahead and go back and rewind the video and see these again. Okay. Now, if you're ready, here's some 4 practice problems right here. So here it is. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, go ahead and do these on your own. And you're going to submit all this as one picture to me. Okay, this is just notes for 2.2. So h minus 3 equals negative 2. W plus 2 equals negative 13. M divided by 8 equals negative 6. 2.4 p, there's a point right here. So negative 2.4 p equals 7.2. Okay, let me put it a little bit. The decimal. Okay? All right. So you're going to copy all this, complete 5, 6, 7, and 8, and submit all this under the submission. Okay? So that I can see this work. All right, guys.